Well, I have two small children of my own. I have a 4-year-old and a 19-month-old. So it's very important to me that a congregation be welcoming with open arms, just like Jesus welcomed. His disciples wanted to kind of keep the kids at arm's length, and Jesus says, "Let the little children come to me. They have something to teach us," and we believe that as Salem. And I think it plays out that we really do welcome children's contribution to worship, even though they can get a little rowdy at times. They are more than welcome in worship because you learn to worship by worshiping. And we understand that. Kids learn to worship by being in worship. And yet at the same time, we also have a place. There's a place for them. If they need a little break, that we have a nursery that's that's volunteer staffed at the 11 o'clock service, and it's available as a place to just kind of escape to in the earlier service. We have a special children's message with our parish assistant for youth ministry, who is an elementary school teacher, and so he understands how kids think and how kids like to interact, and he proclaims the good news of the message of God to them, sort of on their own level. And there's a special part for that for kids in worship. In between our worship services, there's education for kids of all ages. We've got it's preschool all the way up through confirmation, which is our kind of, in middle school. Our kids kind of go through like some intensive discipleship training, where we believe that in our baptism God says yes to us, and then we go through some training. These kids go through some really important training on getting ready to say yes to God and to the life that God wills for us. And so it is. I mean, it's a really neat kind of time to explore our faith. These kids do camp every year, a confirmation camp at Marlou Ridge, which is a camp that's connected with the Lutheran Church. And they come back just so excited because they've had an opportunity to really not just read about these wondrous deeds of God in the Bible, but also to live them out, to kind of be a part of this story and be a part of these activities where you really learn hands-on what God's love is all about. And they come back raving about that and about just this wonderful fellowship time with kids from all across the state. So we also have a really vibrant and active youth ministry, again with Don Schwartz, our parish assistant. They do service projects. They will, go around and do fundraisers for a big Lutheran gathering and time of service and worship every 3 years. That our national church, the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, will gather all these kids. So they'll do fundraisers for that type of activity, and they do social stuff. Our kids have fun together. They really are. There's some real friendships with kids in our congregation, and they gather, every other Friday to just kind of hang out and drop in and have fun together in a safe environment that is really, sort of God-centered. So we have youth ministry. Now we also have young adult ministry, and that's kind of a newer thing where we have young adults that we get together, in people's homes in a really kind of informal environment. We'll have some food. We'll talk about our lives, and we'll talk about the Bible. We'll talk about some of the important things that this book has to say, to our situation today, like kind of the so what factor of this is what it means for my life, what these stories, mean for my life. So that, and I found that to be really, really inspiring. So we have young adult ministry, and we also have a young adult retreat every year where we will go we'll go off someplace and kind of blow off some steam together and really take a hard look at our own lives and how God might be active and how God's story might be playing out and unfolding in our own life story.